Saban's doing accusations. Come on. I mean, just
he's not doing accusations. He told the truth. He told the truth.
It's not. Alabama fans are just scared at the end of the day.
Alabama fans ain't scared. Okay. What are we scared of? What, winning?
Until October.
Bottom line is this: you come to Alabama to win championships, be part of a dynasty. You go to Texas A&M to join the military.
Not easy being the fastest quarterback you've never seen. I'll be right back. There's no quicker way to get into DFS. Play Super Draft today and see for yourself.
What the hell do you got on?
I'm the Texas A&M Joey. What the hell you got on?
Man, take that trash off.
What's
man, what
going
the hell's
on,
wrong with
man?
You? Man, nothing much, man. Man, you come on with that bull crap. What, you gonna start crying like Jimbo?
No, just well, you cry all the time on here when Clemson Tom does his thing with you.
Yeah, because I don't want him on the show. Nobody likes him. That's the reason why I cry. I cry every time I see the ugly face.
Hey, truth be known, nobody.
Did I not threaten him to last week? I threatened him to a fight. I challenged him. I said, "Hey, look, I will put the money up for charity. I will kick, and we'll put the money up for charity. You can pay. We'll put it on CTS pay-per-view, and I'll kick you, and then we can put the money up for charity or whatever. I will kick you." There's no doubt in my mind that if I get in a fight with Clemson Tom, I'm gonna kick it. Just like if Saban got in the ring with Jimbo Fisher would get it. It's just certain things that is logic. Now it's none of that. That speaking of that, what we doing today?
So Joey, what we are talking about today is the war of words between Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban, and of course, we've also got to remember he threw Deion Sanders in there as well.
He didn't throw Deion Sanders anywhere. Look, all he was saying, why? It's like Steve Spurrier said, why is everybody so upset? All he did was tell the truth. Why is the truth bad? We talked about last week. Your boyfriend Clemson Tom, he said it too. It's the wild, wild west right now. This thing needs to be regulated. All he said was, "Hey, look, Jimbo Fisher somehow became the #1 recruiting class in the nation. Who the hell wants to go to Texas A&M to play football? Who? Exactly. And he just said, hey, look, right now people are using the NIL to bring players in and promise them deals, and that's not what the NIL is for. And now all of a sudden that, now Texas A&M fans crying and all this crap. Matter of fact, waiting, and we got an old friend of ours who's I happen to be a Texas A&M fan. He's waiting. So if you want to, you go ahead and introduce the little Chicano.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is our old friend, the one and only One More Sanchez. What's going on, Sanchez?
What's going on, fellas? Glad to be back. I had to come back.
Gig 'em. All I got to say to you, sir, is gig 'em.
Yeah, what's Joey crying about today?
Joey ain't crying about nothing. The only thing I'm wondering, why are you here? You left CTS, and now all of a sudden you back. What's your problem? What? Oh, and then not only that, you come look, Sting, y'all. It must be nice having a bunch of money where you get buy a bunch of caps.
I took a sabbatical. So I didn't leave.
So tell me what's the word in Texas right now? Why is Jimbo?
Because Saban's doing accusations. Come on.
He's not doing accusations. He told the truth. He told the truth.
Is there proof?
Players are talking about it.
So you guys, when y'all were ranked number 1 all those years, y'all didn't do the same thing?
Look, no. Hold on.
No,
hold on. Hold on. Look. You go into Alabama, Nick Saban promises you education, he promises you a dynasty, he promises you a championship. See, when you come to Alabama, they basically have ringmakers back in the back of the locker room because that's what you're going to get when you come to Alabama. You're going to get a ring. And see, when was the last time Texas A&M won a national championship? Before my grandparents were born. I think the last time was what, 1939? I mean, come on now. And honestly, I don't think that championship really counted. They shared it with like 4 different teams. Nobody goes to Texas A&M to play football and think they're going to win a championship. And all of a sudden, out of 100 years, Texas A&M is the number 1 recruiting class in the nation. Come on. No.
Come on, first of all, we beat y'all last year.
And then you got that retarded Shannon Sharp talking about, nobody comes to Tuscaloosa to play football. No, why would you want to go to Tuscaloosa? Why would you want to go to Valdosta, Georgia? ESPN named them Championship City. Well, you know what's in Valdosta, Georgia? Crime. That's it. And football. That's it. That's all you got. Football and basketball. And
Alabama fans are just scared at the end of the day.
Alabama fans ain't scared. Okay. What are we scared of? What, winning?
Until October.
What, we're not going to win? What are we scared of? What, winning?
You're not going to beat Texas A&M this year.
Man, please. Okay, you know what? You getting a little cocky because they won and that barbecue bet. Go ahead, Sting. What, Sting?
Do you honestly know what this is about? I've thought about.
Who are you talking to? Are you talking to Sanchez because he's stupid, or are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to everybody.
I know what this is about. Nick Saban says something. He told the truth, and Jimbo Fisher's like, "No, I want you to think that. I want you to think that I can really recruit without paying players." Go ahead.
Let me talk.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is the issue right here. Alabama was and is still now the cream of the crop when it comes to football. However, with the new NIL deal, Saban knows that Alabama boosters and their money cannot hold a candle to A&M and the Longhorns of Texas with their old money coming into the SEC. So basically, in the nutshell, this was a cry for help for Alabama, but not only Alabama, but for other schools as well to go, hey, this is about to blow to hell and back if we don't put a cap on this NIL deal.
Okay.
It was not necessarily talking about blah, blah, blah. It was, okay, I see a problem here. The booster money is completely way off the charts when you talk about Texas and Texas A&M. That was the issue, and they blew it way out of proportion.
First off, you shouldn't insult Sanchez with a blah, 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 because, you know, he had interesting points. Second, if that's the case, why didn't University of Texas, Texas University, whatever the hell, the Longhorns, why didn't they get a high recruiting class? The bottom line is this. You come to Alabama to win championships, to be part of a legacy, to be part of a dynasty.
Get a high recruiting class.
Be part of a dynasty. You go to Texas A&M to join the military.
No. What's happening is your guys' time is done. It's done.
Oh, it's not done. Right now in the SEC, you got 3 schools. You got Alabama, you got LSU, and you got Georgia. Those are the 3 schools that are going to be dominant in this decade.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why Texas A&M is going to be put on this list is because they got that mucho grande.
Yeah.
That mucho grande.
And here's the thing: is Saban is concerned because you got Oklahoma coming in.
He's not concerned. He's not
Of course he is. Of course he is.
He just said, "Look, my position is this: we need to put a cap on this before things get out of control."
I just said that.
I know. I was agreeing with you. He said that because he don't want college football to lose the value that it has with the Americans right now, because people love college football. We love how it's still important. It's not like mixed up with business. And right now business is going to intervene with this, and kids are going to make more money. Now kids are going to make more money than Cam Newton did in Auburn. That's not right.
If it was the other way around, do you think he'll complain? If you guys were ranked number 1 in recruiting, you think he would?
We're ranked number 1 regardless, just because of our legacy, because of the dynasty that we have created.
You sound like a Cowboy fan right now.
The last 15 years, the last 17 years, Nick Saban has created a legacy. He don't need to pay players. He does. As a matter of fact, Jimbo Fisher said, "Look at his past. Go look at his past."
Yes.
Why hasn't we heard anything by now? If he was a cheater, we would have heard something by now. But But I tell you what, I bet you the next year or two, we're going to hear about this recruiting class getting millions of dollars, buying houses, buying a new Chrysler parking lot, because it's going to be full of Chrysler 300s all over the place, Hondas and trucks and Milo T, and it's going to be sponsoring every player. Come on now.
It's real simple.
Do not think for 1 second that Texas A&M is that good of a football program.
We're about to. The
12th man is really annoying. And you come on the CTS with that bullshit. What's wrong with you, Sanchez?
If any program got the money, don't get mad because they're building the team. They're building the dynasty. A&M, it's just like
the point is, hold on, Stingray. The point is that Alabama, Nick Saban said, only reason why they go on to Texas A&M is because of the NIL deals, and they're using NIL deals to bring players in. Alabama's not using NIL deals to bring players in. Alabama's bringing them in because of the dynasty, because of the championships, because we can make you a champion. You can feel like the champion, not only with CTS, but with Alabama. That's why they go to Tuscaloosa. I've been to Tuscaloosa. Nobody wants to live in Tuscaloosa. I get what Shannon Sharp saying. Well, I didn't understand what he was saying because he was like, but I understood what he was trying to say after 15 times of replaying the interview. I understand. Nobody wants to go to Tuscaloosa and live. But if you want to go to Tuscaloosa to be a champion, that's where you go. You go to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah,
I'll let you get the last word, Sanchez. We got to move on.
We just got new rules, and it's time to go. It's our time to shine. You guys you just don't got the money, and that's it.
Can I intervene?
Yeah, and we got somebody in the waiting room. Go ahead.
All right, I dogged on Joey. Now I'm fixing to do one more Sanchez. You need to quit worrying, son, about Alabama. You got over that hurdle. Congratulations. But there's another state, bro, that y'all lost to last year, and that was the state of Mississippi, son. You had Mississippi State come down there and absolutely kick y'all's ass in College Station. Then you went up there to Mr. Lane Kiffin, and you got beat on the road to Ole Miss. So congratulations on beating Alabama. You got over the hurdle. Now you got to work on beating the other state, the Magnolia State, Mississippi.
Yeah, and be honest with you, I could drop my pants and beat Mississippi State. Anyway, introduce our next guest, the very talented and whatever his name is. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think
Set Sanchez straight.
we need to go on ahead and get a mature guy in here. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on ahead and get to Preston Guy.
Why don't you tell people where Preston Guy's from? And
He is Preston
let them
Guy
know.
is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's down there close to Texas A&M, closer to College Station than we are, and so I'm sure that he has a lot of things to say about Coach Saban and, of course, about Jimbo Fisher.
That's
You can find him on tigerbait.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Preston Guy.
damn, Steen. You make it sound like he just
Woo.
a normal human being. You could at least say he's a reporter.
What's up, guys? I'm feeling very mature today. Thank you for that introduction.
That was a good one.
Yeah, in Baton Rouge, I speak collectively for the community when we're sitting here just eating our popcorn, watching, loving every bit of this. Like, shots fired over there, shots fired over there, and we're just sitting here clean. We're good. We're good. Leave us alone. We're out of it, man. Right? So it's a big win for Baton Rouge to not be in the middle of this. It must be the greatest SEC drama of all time, and Lane Kiffin isn't even involved. I mean,
He's trying to be. He's trying to be.
Oh boy, he was throwing a little bit of a Twitter shade, but he's at least like kind of staying to the side. So let's get a little grown up and talk some facts here. So Saban comes out and accuses Jimbo Fisher of buying recruits, not saying he thinks they're doing it, not saying he could be doing it. He said every single player was bought and paid for, which, by the way, if it's not true, that's libel. I mean, that's not like a good thing.
Right.
Jimbo Fisher, of course, came back with a not much more mature response and said, there's stuff. If you go back in his past, you'll find it. Basically telling every reporter in the country to go look into Saban. But he didn't say anything directly, which basically, puts he used the cautionary verbiage. He used the PR guy is telling you can go after them, but don't say anything directly because that, if it's wrong, that could cause us problems. Whereas Saban, he just went guns blazing, dude. He acting like he has no consequences. So off of that interaction, here's what that tells me. One of a few things about Saban. Number one, he possibly feels that he has run a squeaky clean program for about 15 years there in Tuscaloosa. And he feels that anything he does, they can look into whatever they want and they're not going to find nothing. Because when you make that comment, you're poking the bear. You are starting the fight and you're going to get punched back. And people are going to look into you and what you're doing because you've been having number one recruiting classes for a very long time. By the way, not just at Alabama either. He came in 2001. Now, there was a big buzz in Baton Rouge about Nick Saban. They thought he was going to be the next big thing. We all did. But he was able to pull in like five-star recruits in 2001 to LSU. That's coming off of LSU in the 90s, by the way, not LSU today. And that's not Nick Saban today where he flashes, 7 championship rings and guarantees. He says every player I've signed in the SEC since 1999 has won a championship if they stayed all 5 years or all 4 years. He didn't have all that. So my point being is that, man, he must have a lot of confidence that there's absolutely nothing in his entire track record as a coach that would get him slapped with major violations, or he's got the biggest kahunas ever because he is risking the greatest legacy of all time by taking that shot. If he's wrong, because you're going to send, Jimbo Fisher literally he took a bunch, every reporter in the country said, sick 'em boy. And we'll see. If they come up with nothing, then good. Nick Saban was right. He has a clean program. And he may very well. I don't know. I know there's been a handful of things pop up, a DJ Fluker every here and there, but nothing that is out of the ordinary for any other program, truth be told. So he it's a bold take. Now, of course, the drama continued today as Jimbo Fisher comes out and says he signed 11 players on campus. Only one of them had an NIL deal at all. So if that's true, it's verifiably true. How do you lie about something like NIL? I mean, it's tracked now. It's they have to keep an eye out for these kind of things, and especially for a quantity of money that is substantial enough to quote buy a player's services, and 5-star players at that. Then that would mean Nick Saban was just straight up lying. And boy, the drama is it's a lot of fun to watch here in Baton Rouge, ain't it?
You know what was fun to watch was when Coach Kelly did that music video with one of the Alabama football players. That was pretty funny.
The 3-star tight end.
Yeah.
That was let's see, that was 2 or 3 weeks before they signed the number 1 linebacker in the country, Harold Perkins.
Hey, I've already said, hey, well, before you even jump on me, I've already said Coach Kelly is going to bring LSU back to promised land. So don't jump on me.
They're doing a good job so far.
I said it here.
Lots more work to do.
Stingray was the one that said Coach Kelly is going to be out in 2 years and fell.
Ooh. 2 years, Stingray.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. LSU don't have the smartest fan base. I mean, hell, they canceled the wave out, and you can't even do the wave in Tiger Stadium because 2 people drowned.
LSU fans typically reserve their high IQ moves for doing things like poisoning a tree of their rival and then calling a radio station to tell everybody about it. That's typically the kind of intelligent things we see out of LSU fans.
Right. And, you got not only got intelligent fans in LSU, you got the most beautiful women there in LSU, too. I'll give you that. I mean, they got ethics. I mean, if they're not in bed by 10 p.m., they go home.
Joey, see, I just don't know about that because your mom's in Tuscaloosa, so I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
Sanchez, you see what I did there? They're not in bed by 10 p.m. They go home. You see the genius I just used? See that? Because they're whores.
I think when
the girls in LSU, they're whores. You can have sex with them.
I think that when you are looking at this whole NIL thing, number one, we hashed out all the little angles there, but something I think no one can really deny is that NIL is absolutely a threat to Nick Saban. Whether he has the ability to adapt or not, I don't know. This seems to be like the one issue. Like, you can't just adapt to having more money. There's nothing Bama's ever going to do to have more money than Texas A&M. And even if you put regulation and stipulation on Texas A&M and the NCAA, not Texas A&M specifically, but everybody, even if you add that regulation, which is desperately needed, by the way, yes. I think everybody's in favor. Like, it's a little too unstructured right now. You're not going to be able, like players are going to generally know that Texas A&M has a lot of NIL money available, that their boosters are going to come forward with sponsorships, even if they're not talking to you before recruiting, even if it's done the right way. You kind of get an idea that Texas A&M is going to have more money available than Alabama, and so is Texas, and so is a lot of schools. Quite frankly, there's a lot of them out there. I think of schools like, what about USC? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of schools that aren't even necessarily blue bloods right now, but they got the money backing, and Oregon. It is a major threat to Saban. Now, what do they do for a solution? I don't know.
Can I interject too? There is another school that nobody's talking about right now with the NIL deal that completely just went out the roof. Walmart, and oh, by the way, the alum Jerry Jones right up there in Fayetteville, Arkansas. That right there makes Arkansas a hotbed for players to go up there with Sammy Pittman and Kendall Briles.
Bill Clinton and Walmart alone. That's,
So that's
quite a bit.
That's another school that nobody's talking about that is just right there ready to be a counter pick.
Sanchez, I do have a question. Okay, where do you think Texas A&M is going to be this year? They got the #1 recruiting class in the nation. What do you think they're going to do? I mean, they don't have a Nick Saban for a coach. They got a whiny little like Jimbo Fisher as a coach. Where do you think they're going? Where do you think they're going? You think they're going to the championship game? You think they're going to be in the playoffs? Do you think they're going to
be
the
SEC
SEC
Joey? I'm gonna provide.
Hold on, Preston. Hold on, Preston.
I don't think. Here's the thing. I think they got a year to build. I don't think they'll go to the national championship. Here's the thing with A&M. They'll beat Alabama and then lose to like Mississippi State or Arkansas. That's the problem. They don't finish strong. They start strong. They don't finish strong.
So I'm going to go ahead and tell. I've been talking to a lot of LSU fans who the Texas 8-4 jokes. You know what I mean? Like they are not taking Texas A&M seriously, and I don't necessarily see how you can see the composition of that coaching staff and that roster and think to yourself they're not going to be a major threat coming up soon. And this year, I'd be shocked if they aren't. And 10-11 win territory this year. Look at the quarterbacks Jimbo Fisher's had at Texas A&M. That's the one thing about his tenure that's got me completely baffled is what the hell is he do? How can he not find someone better at quarterback? He had, their starter got hurt this year after the second game. Yes. And, kid transfers to Auburn there afterward. He just clearly was not it. And then you had for 16,000 years, you had the one quarterback kid. What was his name? Mond. Kellen Mond, who just wasn't great. Whether it's Haynes King or Max Johnson this year, they're going to be the best quarterback he's had during his tenure. Max Johnson was at LSU and had a ton of struggles this year. Didn't play the ball game and still threw 27 touchdowns, albeit a little fluffed because the running game wasn't producing scores early in the year. And by the way, he beat A&M. By the way, I feel like he's going to be a serviceable quarterback. I don't think A&M is heading for this 8-9 win and forever, because this signing class was for real legit. And Jimbo Fisher didn't forget to coach since that 2013 championship. He does some things well, some things very well. I'm not so certain that A&M is someone you can just laugh at. And maybe Bama's got a stacked roster this year. Maybe this year Bama takes them, but I think moving forward, you're going to have to be scared for that one.
And here's another thing. Here's another thing. A&M needs to win now, because when Texas and Oklahoma joins, Texas A&M is going to have to take a back seat again because of Texas. So they have to start winning now, and that's going to be within the next 2 years.
And guys, the last thing I'll say is this: it's all great about those recruiting classes and everything, but guys, the key is going to be for Jimbo Fisher how he develops them on the field, and if he does it in enough time before they go to the NFL. So that is going to be the key of this whole situation, is how he develops them once he gets them on campus. Guys, real quick, Sanchez and Preston, final thoughts before we head out on this episode.
I think it's publicity. I don't see Jimbo Fisher paying. If he would have went to LSU, maybe I would have been a little bit afraid, but he stayed. I don't see nothing's gonna happen. I just think it's just talk.
I'm gonna speak on behalf of every LSU fan everywhere and say that as SEC fans, we are appalled at this great transgression of immaturity that has been a very poor representation of the Southeastern Football Conference. And both coaches should be immediately terminated and their rosters forfeit to pave way for a new high-class SEC, because this has been a disgrace. And Greg Sankey's little slap on the wrist is not serious enough. Clearly, both coaches need to be terminated.
What?
One more Sanchez.
That was satirical for anybody watching, thinking I'm a garbage reporter.
We gotta wrap it up.
Hold on.
I'm just kidding.
One thing. This is coming from a fan base who had Coach O say, "Roll Tide, F you." Come on, bro.
And what did they do to him?
Okay,
where is Coach O? He's on the beach with some blonde right now. Like, he's gone.
Sanchez, tell everybody where we can find you and your great podcast.
I'm at One More Sanchez on all social media. And again, guys, anytime I like to be back on, it was a pleasure. Preston, I like to. We'll see when they play LSU, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Preston, every time you come on the CTS, you bring a little bit of class. Tell everybody where we can find you and where we can read your very educated articles.
A little bit of class, a lot of acting an ass. That's what I go for. Y'all can follow me at PGuy_77 for some of the Twitter takes, a lot of satirical LSU stuff, a lot of messy stuff where I kind of cut up a little bit more. You can follow my writing at tigerbait.com. And of course, on our YouTube channel, LSU Tigers on Tigerbait, we will have my podcast returning this fall, the LSU Football Fix. So y'all go ahead and get subscribed if y'all want to follow that.
All right, Preston. Hey, do me a favor and tell your wife and start hitting my DMs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Preston Guy. This has been One More Sanchez. Stingray, get your last word in.
From all of us here at the CTS, Preston, we want to say congratulations, my friend, on the upcoming child that you and your wife are having. Congratulations, and we hope nothing but the best for you and everything goes well.
Thanks, man. Great things happen when you're a little bit better looking than that guy Joey, wearing sunglasses inside, man. Hey, is it really bright in there, or are you just ugly? Like, what's going on, bro? I can see your whole computer screen.
The little 17-inch.
Yeah, man.
Preston, guys, Sanchez, thank you. I appreciate both of y'all coming on, man.
Later, y'all.
All right, Stingray, here's the deal. Deion Sanders, who I love as a football player, Atlanta Falcon fan, Jimbo Fisher, they're both whiny little. Well, primetime ain't no, but Jimbo Fisher, they're whining like little. Okay. So, bottom line is this: keep your mouth shut. Be proud that you paid all these players the #1 recruiting class, because that's what you did. Because nobody wants to go to Texas A&M to win. You don't win championships at Texas A&M. You get beat for championships at Texas A&M. The 12th man is annoying. Nobody likes them. They're almost as annoying as that damn cowbell. So, final thoughts, Stingray, and then we got to head out.
Oh, well, you said that A&M doesn't win championships down there. Fun fact. A&M just won the SEC West this past weekend.
In what? Volleyball?
Baseball.
Nobody gives a shit. If you didn't say anything, nobody in America would have known.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, you're the only person that knew. Preston didn't know. One More Sanchez is a damn big ass Texas A&M fan. I bet he didn't know. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. It's football country, baby. This is Alabama. We care about football. We care about two things here in the South: Falcons and Alabama football. Ladies and gentlemen, Saints. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been 3rd and 3. This is my man Stingray. I'm the Joester. We are out.
Who dat?